to a topic that people are going to be talking about a lot, especially today, because they activated Jordan Davis in terms of his 21-day practice window, and the report says he's possibly able to play. Now, I didn't see anything, and I don't know if you saw anything different. For sure, he's going to play. Looks like he's going to go through walkthroughs tomorrow. They're going to test it out. Maybe we'll have more news. But the real question now is, do you need to play him this weekend? And for me, I know the doctors are always, way smarter than we are at this. They're actually, looking at his ankle, and if they clear him, then he's cleared. But if he's 85%, I have no need to play him this week. And I get it's Derrick Henry, and he would be great against Derrick Henry. But they got to make sure this guy's 100% because Christian McCaffrey in the postseason, Dalvin Cook in the postseason, Pollard and Zeke in the postseason. That's when I want Jordan Davis healthy. I have no need to actually play him on Sunday unless it's like 100%, zero issues here. He's going to be fine. Cannot get hurt again.
Yeah, I think you got to play him at 100% because the last thing is we need him to go in 85%, 80%, hurt himself again into the playoffs. So I need him full go. I'm hoping he is. I have no idea. But, I mean, I think that it's obvious how much he means to the run defense, though. If he's healthy and he can go and he's 100%, this is the perfect game for the play.
It'd be nice. I mean, you talk about the one guy who would look big standing next to Derrick Henry. It's this guy. I just worry about a 300-pound man with an ankle injury, trying to move a little bit, and then the bodies are flying around, and then it gets tweaked again, and then he's out for more time. It's the same thing with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. It's like, hey, I know Zach Ertz played the next week in the playoffs with a lacerated kidney. I don't care. Like, literally, let him sit. Reed Blankenship's nothing special. I mean, people are trying to anoint him like he's the next great undrafted free agent finding. I think he's good. He played well. Great pickup, Aaron Rodgers. But, let him ride and then wait till you have these guys 100%. There's no need to rush him back.
Yeah, they got to be 100%. I agree with that. I mean, you got to think about the playoffs and all that. So I agree with you.
Yeah. So someone just asked, when do we get Maddox back? I have no idea. I've not seen
Maddox. Maddox is eligible. He's eligible to come back after this game.
Okay.
He went out I think he went on IR I think it was a Houston game or just after. So I think he's eligible after this week, and then the following week Goedert is eligible.
Yep.
So we slowly could be getting these guys back.
Yep. That I just hadn't heard any update on him, but that sounds correct in terms of going on IR. Yeah, I saw the Goedert thing today as well. He would be someone that I think you could bring back a little bit quicker in terms of being 85 or 90%. Yeah. And I just went this whole rant about needing to be 100%, but I think Goedert could come back at 85 or 90 because you can limit his snaps and he's not getting hit every single second in terms of what Jordan Davis is doing in the trenches up there. That's something too, is like the offense hasn't had Dallas Goedert in a couple of weeks and it's still looking pretty good minus maybe the Colts game. You put Goedert back in this offense, and then you have an A.J. Brown who's not throwing up and losing 7 pounds through the course of a week before a game. It's going to be pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Goddard's huge. Goedert was a huge loss.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Let's see some of these comments here. Let's see. Didn't help that most of Green Bay's drive started at the 40-yard line. Yeah, listen, special teams is a problem. It's not getting better.
That's the big problem on this team is special team. I don't know for the life of me why they did not address a returner, especially. I mean, Britton Covey, he scares the hell out of me. I'm holding my breath every time he gets the ball. I was so happy that Boston Scott returned it to like the 27-yard line the other day. I was so happy about that. I was like, 27-yard line. Whoa. But special teams is the number one problem. I see a lot of people talking about Jonathan Gannon there. It is what it is. I think that, I saw somebody say something about, we're number one in this statistic, that statistic with him. All I can say is if he was more aggressive, we'd have even better statistics.
I agree.
That's what I think.
I think it's amazing that Devin Allen has not been called up, and it's not because I think he's great. It's because you would think that if there was if you were an undrafted guy and you had this one specialty, which is supposed to be speed, and you wanted to actually get on an active roster, this is the roster to do it. It's like, hey, prove to the coaches that you can be a really good kick returner. And apparently he hasn't done it. Unless the coaches are blind and he's doing it in practice and they just refuse to actually call him up. Devin Allen not getting on the field right now, to me, is a massive missed opportunity. And I bet you it's probably due to ball security. I bet you they've tried him. And I bet you he probably fumbles too much because that whole idea of not playing a lot of football and then running as fast as you can and then getting pounded by somebody at the 45-yard line, that's probably what's going on in practice. If I had to bet money on it, is that he can't hold on the ball and they can't trust him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about his career in college. I don't know if he ever even returned punts, but my God, he's fast. I mean, I remember that preseason game where he caught that touchdown. I mean,
Yeah.
he's fast, you know.
That, why don't you bet on it with our friends at DraftKings? The link down below in the description box takes you to the TFN website. You see on your screen right here. You bet $5 on the Eagles, you get $200 back if they win in free bets. All you gotta do, sign up using the link, deposit $5+, $5+ money bet. That's nothing. Bet on the Eagles next game and get $200 back if they win. That's $200 in free bets on top of your additional winnings. A lot of you guys have jumped in on this. Be another one here on the show to jump in on the DraftKings link below. Let's just address the Gannon elephant in the room here, because it's really hard for me to do. Because on one hand, I see what everybody else sees. I see these drives and these moments and these plays where people are wide open, or the tackling is bad, or they're playing soft coverage on 3rd down and 2, and I get frustrated as well. But there are also so many of these games where the defense looks really, really good, and I can't seem to decide where I'm at on this. I think Gannon's problem is he has his scheme, and his scheme works really well when they have a lead. And in these close games, sometimes it's like, I don't know if this is working, because he's trying to me, he's trying to force interceptions. He's trying to get pressure with 4, force you to throw interceptions. And when that happens, great. It's fantastic. But as soon as teams don't turn the football over, they score a couple of points and match us, I start to really wonder about this kind of soft shell coverage and wonder if Gannon is going to work out. Now, the problem with ripping Jonathan Gannon is that people in the National Football League don't rip this guy. Like, everything I've read is that GMs think he's great. Other players think he's great. I mean, front office people think he's great. The fact he had a head coaching interview last year, the defense was terrible last year, and he's going to get more this year. Either I'm an idiot, or a lot of Eagle fans are idiots too, because they don't like Gannon as well, or it's kind of a mixed bag right now. I really don't know.
Yeah. The Gannon thing is something that is very interesting to talk about, because the Gannon people who love him, like they come full at you.
Yeah.
You can't say anything bad about him to those that are on his side. I say this is how I see Gannon. I think he's a good coach. I think he knows football. I don't think his DNA is built to play in Philly. Like I don't think he knows when to close out games. How many times were we up 14 points, big leads, and he just allows his defense to let these teams back in? There were 2 drives in that Green Bay game that really irked me, and this is why I'm a little bit down on Gannon. The drive where Aaron Rodgers is out on the field and he's hurt and he clearly can't throw. Right, he's dumping off. Every time he's grimacing in pain between every play in the huddle, he's bending down. Why did you not attack him? Go test him right there. Then when he comes out of the game and Love comes in, why not test him? He's a young quarterback right off the bench. Those 2 things are my issues with him. I just don't think he knows when to go for the kill. But when he has to adjust to be aggressive, it works great.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't do it more, because he's got the personnel, and when they play aggressive and they do blitz, they're pretty successful.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. And that's the thing too. I mean, last year they had a serious problem at the opposite side in terms of cornerbacks. Like Nelson was not that great. He was a serviceable guy. He's played okay for the Texans, but very much a pivot away from Slay will throw against him. They don't have that problem right now. Bradbury might be the best corner in the league, at least playing at that point. He's playing unbelievably well. He's playing better than Slay, and Slay's playing great. You could bring zero pressure and get these one-on-one matchups, especially when Avonte Maddox is in there. But that's not an excuse to not do it right now, at least a couple of times a game. Did they do an all-out blitz against the Green Bay Packers this past week? I don't think so. And like you mentioned,
I don't remember.
Rodgers is barely walking. He's just he's holding his chest. He's going like this. And test him once or twice. You don't think that Bradbury and Slay can play on an island for a couple of snaps? That would be my big thing in a postseason. You're up 6. You need to get a stop. It's 3rd down and 8. Send the house and just live or die by it at least once or twice. Because, I mean, Eagle fans complain about everything. But I think we'd all be a little appreciative, even if you got burnt on the outside. If Bradbury gets burnt for a touchdown, you know what? Hey, they tried. Instead of this shell stuff where Rodgers just walks down the field and then finds Christian Watson on a one-on-one, in the end zone, or who it was Cobb one-on-one with whoever it was, the safety. It was like, goodness gracious. That's my one big gripe. I think most Eagle fans would agree.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have a feeling he's going to make a better head coach than a coordinator. I do. But I grew up under watching Buddy Ryan and Jim Johnson, even Ray Rose. Like, I expect a certain aggressiveness to the defense. And it's just hard for me to watch it. It's just like, I feel like it's Chinese water torture. Like, I feel like I'm getting killed here. That's what it feels like. Over and over again, the whole game. I think he's a good coach. I do. His scheme bothers me.
Yeah, it is strange. It's worked really well sometimes, and other times it's been ridiculous and doesn't work that well.